Of course, it's a material thing, but still, having a recognition for me is, I'm not cynical about it. I'm actually very honored and happy because, especially in America, where they don't have such a holistic view of artists, they put you in compartments. And because I have sang rock and roll, it's hard for people to comprehend a person who sings rock and roll can also write poetry. So I'm very happy that they have recognized that I can do something else. But I'm proud. It's a very, it gives one a sense of magnification. But the truth is, no artist should need any awards, but when we get them, we're happy. I think that for me, the digging wasn't so difficult because I have a very, very acute memory of my life with Robert. The most difficult part was when I had to focus on myself. I liked very much talking about him or when we were young. But as soon as we had some success, it was not so much, I felt a little self-conscious to speak about rock and roll. I liked very much speaking about childhood and the discovery and evolution of art. And I suppose the other difficult part is just the sorrow of making flesh through art someone who you miss. So sometimes it just made me sad. But I'm very happy to give Robert to the people. No, because I know my past very well. I have a very strong, I live strongly in the present and look toward the future, but I have a good grip on my past. And especially this period with Robert, it's like a friend. So I didn't discover anything new. I just put it together in such a way where I could share it with the people. But I can't say I discovered anything, except that I have the ability and discipline to put it together as a book. So the discovery process was more about process, about the writer's process, more than something within myself. I know myself.
Yeah.
Well, I write prose all the time. It's just I haven't published it. In the 80s, when I retired from music for 16 years, I wrote 5 books, but they have not been published. So writing prose was, people aren't aware because I haven't published the work, but writing prose is something I do every day. Every day I'm writing. I've already written 20 pages in the morning in Madrid. I've been writing every day. It's something that I do. Mm-hmm. It's my essential discipline. Yes. Well, I'm not a musician. I'm a singer and a composer, performer, but I can't play anything, just a little guitar. So I never call myself a musician. Mm-hmm. People call me a musician, but trust me, I'm not a musician. My friends. I mean, I miss the architecture of New York. They've changed it. They've destroyed some of it. They've destroyed some of the grittier elements, like 42nd Street. They've made it much more difficult for artists to live because it got so expensive. But that is happening everywhere. What I miss my friends, so many of Robert, my husband, my pianist, Richard Soul, so many people that I know are gone. So I miss my people. Well, I hope it's inspiring for anyone, not just writers, for artists, for gardeners, for anyone, because the book is about the resiliency of the human spirit, to go through difficult times and to come out all right. It's as much about struggle and holding on to one's vision. So whether one wants to be a cook, a chef, a gardener, you know, whatever one's vocation is, there is still the same amount of struggle, of suffering, of self-doubt, of hard work, of labor, not just as an artist, all vocations, whether one wants to be a priest or a nun or, you know, a mother, everything requires a certain amount of discipline and sacrifice. So perhaps it will be inspiring to anyone. Well, I was very happy and honored to be invited. This has been, 2010 was my year of Bolaño. I read nothing but Bolaño. I've studied him, thought about him, went to Blanes to see where he lived. I've met his family. I have read his books, especially 2666, 666, which I think is our first 21st century masterpiece. I think that he died and left the people at least one masterpiece. And I'm drawn to him because I feel a brotherhood with his mind, but also his process. As a writer, in 2666, there's so many sixes. He has his process of creating an expanding universe that is accessed in other books, that is accessed in books not yet published, for me has been liberating. His process as a writer and his freedom, especially in this masterwork of leaping from place to place and having the aria inside of it, the aria of the murders, the murdered girls, in this magnificent work that spans all different areas of thought, of poetry, of language, is for me like, you know, I could study it forever, just in terms of how to write, even in translation, because the translation, Natasha Weimer is a genius as well. She has given us such a great translation that I don't feel like a wall, you know, because I am reading it in English. But I haven't felt so, this is the closest that I've felt with a writer since I was very young and read The Glass Bead Game, or read Moby Dick, or when I was very young reading Huckleberry Finn. To me, it is in succession of the great masterworks. No, I can't say I identify with his life because that would be presumptuous, but I do identify with his creative process. I identify with how he puts work together. I just feel a kinship that is so personal that I can't really explain it. It might seem presumptuous, but it's something I feel, and he inspires me. To me, when I listen to certain work, I listen to Glenn Gould, and he makes me want to work. I read Roberto, he makes me want to write. It's the greatest gift a writer can give another writer, is to make him want to write. Every time I read him, in fact, I have to get many copies of his books because I'm always writing all over his book, because I'll be reading and get inspired and start writing a poem or something. So he gives the writer a certain permission, a certain freedom to expand our universe, but also just makes us